Right now, I know we are kind of cheating. We were going to do everything live and not plan everything ahead. But it's just us because Theo is napping and Mommy is doing work. So right now it's just or having a snack. So right now it's just gonna be us making dough and sauce. So when we do the actual thing with our family, we don't have to wait for the dough to rise, and we don't have to cook everything there because we are not ready to do a 1 hour cooking show.
Well, I don't know if we're not ready to do a 1 hour cooking show. We can't do this recipe with a 1 hour cooking show. But you could make this with pre-made pizza dough. You can buy great pizza dough at many, many grocery stores. And also you could use any pizza dough recipe you wanted, and it freezes great and stores in the refrigerator. And sauce, we're gonna make our own sauce. We have a nice kid-friendly sauce we're gonna do. But you could really just use canned tomato sauce or jarred tomato sauce, and you'd be fine. So we're going to make this pizza dough recipe, which I believe I posted in the event. We can make this pizza dough recipe. So Emmy, what do we need first?
First, we need
2.5.
2.5 cups of warm water and
1/4 cup.
And a 1/4 cup of sugar.
That's right. So we're just going to pop this water in the microwave for a second. We're only going to cheat so much. And microwaving our water before we go live is cheating. Okay, and 1/4 cup of sugar. This has quite a lot of sugar for a bread recipe this size, which means it rises pretty quickly. It also makes pretty sweet and pretty soft pizza dough, which is one of the things I like about it. It's very forgiving.
I can't chew very well because I lost my front tooth.
I think we showed everyone last week's video. Okay, how much yeast do we need?
We need 3 teaspoons of instant yeast.
Okay, this is our coronavirus jar of yeast, and we are almost at the end of it. So hopefully we have 3 teaspoons left, otherwise we're going to do some quick recipe math.
1. I don't think we have.
1,
2.
2. 2. We'll call that almost 3. Okay, well maybe we'll go. I think we'll just take our chances. Yeast grows, so a little light in yeast will just proof a little longer. It'd be okay.
We're gonna do salt. Come on.
Okay.
Salt kills yeast, and we don't even have yeast.
Salt just slows down how fast the yeast grows. What kills yeast is hot water. So we want to make sure this water is not too hot. This is 2 cups. What do we do next, Amy? I'm going to get 1 more half cup. Your water should be no stronger than the temperature of bath water. Cool, like lukewarm. 2.5. Otherwise your yeast will die. Yeast and sugar. What's next?
Next we need 1/4 cup of vegetable oil.
Okay, so you got to read the directions.
In the bowl with a stand mixer, combine the water, sugar, and yeast. Allow the mixture to sit for a few minutes until frothy. That's frothy.
Well, it's frothy because I beat it. So we're going to let it stand for a few minutes. Meanwhile, let's get some sauce going.
And then add in the vegetable oil. So should I?
No, we're going to let it sit. We're going to wait till it gets frothy, and then we're going to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to make this pizza sauce out of is my nice crooked tripod. I'm going to make this pizza sauce out of onion and garlic and strained tomatoes, pretty much. It's going to be about it. Now, many recipes, for most baseline Italian food or Chinese food, I usually like to put the garlic in the oil first. And depending on whether you put the garlic or the onion in first, you're going to get a different temperature on the garlic, and it's going to have a different flavor profile. You want to peel some garlic with me? Go ahead, give it a try. Okay, I'm just going to smash this a little bit because this is not a very exact recipe.
Anyway.
Emily's going to help me peel them.
Easy when you smash them.
That's true.
This one, not so much.
Okay.
Naughty garlic.
Someday we will figure out where to put our camera so that we can get our heads and our cooking surface. The answer is probably for the camera to be further away. Great. That pan is on, heating up. No more yeast. Put that on the shopping list, Emmy.
I don't make shopping lists.
You don't make shopping lists?
Nope. No, I don't.
No? Do you want to write it on the board?
Yeah.
Do you think that'll work if we write it on the board?
Yeah.
Really? Does Daddy ever check the board before he goes shopping?
No.
Did Mommy try that? No, we have our Google Doc. Should I add you to our Google Doc shopping list, Emmy, so you can add things to the shopping list? I could do that. Now that you have Google Classroom, I could add you to our Google Doc shopping list. That'd be kind of cool, right?
Classroom.
Well, you have your Google account because you have your Gmail. Like where you did your report, your book report on Gmail, on Google Docs.
Oh, that smells it.
It's a Google Doc. The classroom is the shopping list is a Google Doc, so I could add it.
I wish we had Mr. Wonka's special candy, so we could just hold a piece of candy and we could taste it in our mouth.
You just hold the candy in your mouth forever?
No, hold the candy in your hand.
Oh, you hold it in your hand and then you can taste it in your mouth?
One of the special tricks.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to dice this onion.
He has never melting, non-melting chocolate ice cream.
Does he have a pizza flavor one?
No.
Okay. I don't want our yeast to overproof, so we're going to skip the onion chopping lesson for today. Oh, yeah, your eyes. Can you reach the fan, Emmy?
What fan?
Oh, okay. We'll turn our kitchen fan on, which will help drain away that. Do you want to grab the phone and show them the pan? You can just grab the whole tripod.
Does it drive on? Okay. I have to go. Show them what?
The pan with the onion and garlic in it.
Right. So we're walking over here. And we're looking inside the pan.
Thank you. Oh, that got a little bit brown as I meant it to, but you know, it's a live show. That's okay. So we're going to do this. Really, I would have liked that garlic to be not so brown, but I don't really mind brown garlic. It'll be okay. All right, I'm going to turn that down, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt if I can find my salt.
Can I take it?
Yeah, but you gotta hold it so they can see it.
What's that?
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, do you want to point it back at the bowl and see if that yeast is frosty?
Tell us if you think that yeast is frothy enough.
It's definitely frosty. I'm going to put some oregano in here for the sauce as well. That's quite a lot of oregano, a little more than I meant to. And then I'm also going to, this is the quick version of this. I should let these onions sweat for a minute, but we're in a hurry, so I'm just going to dump some red wine in here.
What? You want
Cook that down. None of this is necessary. Ooh, Emmy, you have to put the phone down. You got to make sure they can see anything. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to our our dough now. Okay, Emmy, why don't you read the next direction for the dough?
Okie dokie. Add the vegetable oil.
How much vegetable oil?
1/4 a cup of vegetable oil.
Great. So I still have my 1/4 cup measure here. I always like to make. You're actually really good on the ground there, for now. I can see your face. I always like to use olive oil in pizza dough, even though that's not what this recipe calls for. So 1/4 cup of olive oil. And what do I do?
Now in a bowl, combine.
Just gonna mix this up a little bit.
Then in a bowl, combine 6 cups of all-purpose flour, and then combine the flour. Combine 6 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 teaspoons of salt, and then add the flour to the yeast.
Okay, then add the flour to the yeast. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of salt. Do you know where the measuring spoon is?
I have trouble making that make sense. I would have just said it, but.
Where's the measuring spoon? Okay, here's the measuring spoon. Okay, Emmy, do you want to put? Let's add some flour. Let's bring the camera back over here.
Can I get on my stool? Or I'll go on my knees.
Okay, so
I'll go on my knees.
you can stand up. You're good. Okay, so here's our measuring cup. I hope we have 6 cups of flour in here. I bet we don't. That's okay. 6 cups. You can count, Emmy?
1, 2. Why is it okay? We don't have enough. 3.
You don't think we have enough?
You said I bet we don't.
Okay.
4.
It's gonna be close.
But 5 and
Now it may look like I'm not measuring this very carefully, which is true, but like most bread recipes, this has a step at the end where you add a little more or less flour depending on how it's doing. And I have a nice extra bag of flour here.
that's why you won't worry.
That's right, that's why I was not worried about it. This flour has been in the freezer, which is great for killing any potential weevils. So your
What are weevils?
flour doesn't get mealworms. You put it in the freezer for
Mealworms?
24 hours. The only problem with it is now we have frozen flour, which is going to make our dough a little cold and take longer to proof. But it's pizza dough, which we might put in the refrigerator to finish proofing. So again, I don't really care. Do we do salt yet? How much salt?
Can I do it? I really
2 teaspoons of salt.
2 teaspoons. So this is just 1 teaspoon. So 2 of these.
Yep. Now my sauce, meanwhile, is just sitting here. The wine is just reducing. I'm just going to reduce the wine. As I said, this is a little overkill for pizza sauce, but it's a nice way to get nice sweet pizza sauce for the kids without adding sugar. 2. Great, and let's give this guy a stir if all of our spoons are not dirty.
I'll just be over here and you can see my face.
Disaster. Everything's going wrong.
Not everything.
Not everything. Okay, now we're gonna come over here.
Okay, can I go?
Yep. And here's our stand mixer. Frothy. As I said at the opening, what I like about this recipe is it's really not very sensitive. So, therefore, pretty hard to screw up. Did we forget something, Emmy? Hope not. Alright, you want to turn that on?
What on? This?
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
only doing it here so the flour doesn't go
That's fine. You can turn it on higher. Not very much flour yet. As long as the flour's not going everywhere, we're in good shape. We're just going to add this flour. We're gonna add this flour. We're going to add this flour just a bit at a time, and then when it gets thick enough, we'll switch to the dough hook. Okay?
That's why I like it.
There are bread recipes where I'd want to be a lot more careful than this, but this one doesn't need to know.
That's good for pouring like the flour with an on.
Okay. Turn it back on.
It was already on.
It was already on.
And eventually we'll scrape the sides probably.
Maybe. I'm not even sure we're going to need to. Okay, turn it off one more time. Actually, that's okay. I'm going to add some more flour.
That's in the middle.
Yep. Great.
I
Okay.
just went in the middle.
Great. Why don't you turn that off? Now, this wine is almost totally reduced. So I'm just going to grab...
reduced
Oh,
mean?
here it is. reduced means that it's almost all boiled off. See this, Emmy? You want to point the camera over there? I can see.
What? That?
The pan, yeah. The liquid's almost all gone.
Tell me if you can see it all right.
Okay. Now I'm gonna just put this in here. These are chopped tomatoes. Pureed would probably be a little better, but I'm gonna puree this sauce. As I said, this is a good bit fussier than it really needs to be for pizza sauce. This is gonna make a kind of thick pizza sauce, which I kind of like. Okay, there you go. You can put it back in. I'm just gonna give that a stir.
Thank goodness.
Oops. Honestly, I grabbed the wrong box. I thought that was the box of strained tomatoes. It was not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also get the box of strained tomatoes. We'll do both of those, and then we will zuzz the sauce. And we will wind up with pretty good texture.
I'm just
sauce.
gonna...
This is way more. This is going to be enough for like
Sorry for that zigzag.
many pizzas. But we're just going to do this, and then we'll freeze it for our next pizza dough. Okay. So that's good now. Now I'm just going to cook this for like probably about an hour, and then I'm going to run it through, I'm going to just run it through a hand blender. I'm going to take the immersion blender and I'm going to puree it so that it's nice and smooth for the pizza sauce. So that's done. I'm just going to cover that up.
Right
leave
now,
it on low
I'm
heat,
not
and we're
showing
gonna
you
finish
that
this.
because there's nothing to see.
There's
if
nothing to
there
see.
Were, I would probably show you.
Okay. Oopsie, that's the wrong button. Oh, the show is a mess. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're gonna just switch this out for the dough hook. Make a mess of our kitchen. And
Disaster.
it's been that kind of day. It's been that kind of week. It's been that kind of month.
Ow.
We're gonna eat some yummy.
My gum still hot from that bagel. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Keep an eye on that. I mean, make sure the flour doesn't go everywhere.
Hey,
If it's not, you can. Go up a little bit.
try that.
You tried that? Okay. What is it? What is the next step in the recipe here? You want to read it?
Yeah. 1 cup at a time, mixing well between additions. Continue adding the flour until the dough can be pulled away from the side of the bowl with ball spatula. But the dough will still be quite sticky. You may need to add a little bit more or less flour, but the key is to remember that the dough will still be sticky and will stick to your fingers when you try to put it on top.
Right. So this recipe makes really sticky dough, which is nice and soft and makes really lovely pizza crust.
Ah!
Oh, you okay?
I keep it again.
But it's really not going to pull away from the dough. Usually in this mixer, I would want the dough to be really pulling away before I would call it done. And there's no real need, there's also no real need step of this. It doesn't say, there's no part of the recipe where it says knead it for 10 minutes or run the mixer. So it's really just, once the flour is incorporated, and I'm probably going to need a little bit more than that because I think we went a little bit short. When are we going to sing?
Yeah.
After we put the dough in the bowl.
Oh,
What do you think? Are we good, Emmy? Or do you think we need a little more flour?
I think we're good.
You just want to sing. Okay.
No.
I think we need a little bit more. It does say very sticky, but I think that's a little bit too sticky.
It
So-
says very sticky.
It does say very sticky, but that is really sticky. That's pretty good. So it says it should still stick to your fingers, but you should be able to
Putting
pull it
that
away.
right directly over my head.
Yeah. It says you should be able to pull it away from the sides of the
I'm
bowl
over here.
with a spatula.
Under.
So we can take our
I'm
spoon.
under the.
Is that pull away from the sides of the bowl? I think so. That's not a spatula, but that's good enough. Okay, So we're going to take this and get that off the dough hook.
Yeah, it's sticking.
It's definitely sticking to my fingers, right?
That's creepy. Ow.
Please get flour all over you. Okay. Emmy, would you get, you want to move the camera over to the other counter?
What kind?
This counter over here.
Oh, why?
Okay. So, for some reason, in this kitchen, this is the best rising bowl we have.
This is a lot of adjusting.
It is a lot of adjusting. I know. This is a lot of it. Emmy, I think this is a lot of adjusting is a good comment on this whole month. No, you don't think that's funny?
I'm...
Too soon? Okay, so we got some olive oil in there. Quite a bit because the dough is very
No, I
sticky.
mean the tripod.
I know you meant the tripod. I was making a joke. Okay, so
We're
we're going to take this out.
Very funny.
You see, it's very, very sticky, and that's okay.
That's
and
what
then,
the recipe called for.
Yep. What does the recipe say about rising, Emmy? Look at it.
The recipe says...
So a lot of pizza dough recipes call for like being in the fridge overnight. This one's
Grease a large bowl and scrape the dough into the bowl. Turn the dough, coat in it oil. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap or towel, and let the dough rise to room temperature until doubled about 1 hour.
right. So it's rise doubled about 1 hour. And what we're gonna do, since it's still about an hour and a half from our show, probably we're gonna put it in the fridge for a while. You can put this in the fridge for several hours, although it will keep rising. It's a pretty high sugar dough. So don't think if you throw it in the fridge that it's gonna just completely stop rising. But it will get softer. So we'll let it rise. We went a little under on yeast, so it's probably gonna take a little while longer too. But basically, we're just gonna let that sit for an hour. Emmy, would you like to wash your hands?
Finally. I don't have anything on them.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, then in that case,
Yes!
that is, we're done with our cooking portion of our show, and Emmy has a little song she would like to sing for you. We're going to experiment with our new, we'll be back at 5 to actually do the pizza cooking, and in the meantime, Emmy is just going to leave you with a song. We're going to experiment with our brand new microphone. So if the sound totally cuts out right now, I apologize. We did do a test, but you know, we're all learning so many things about this new world we live in.
It's not exactly a new world.
Well, new times. Okay, I mean, new times. Sorry for the camera jostling. And okay, Emmy
Can you
did.
see me?
I can definitely see. Is the red mic thing on, Emmy?
Yes, it is.
Don't tap it. Don't tap it.
Sorry.
All right, we're just gonna leave you with this song.
I recommend you pause this video if you want to sing along. Okay. Love is burning thing, and it makes my fire ring. Bound by what you say.
Hopefully we'll see you all at 5 when we will assemble and bake and make pizza.